So this is definitely one of the most important games of the tournament for both teams. Well, it is the most important game. And they are bringing some creative stuff to the table here. Let's see if we get to even talk before First Blood comes out, because Gaimin are very aggressively posed here with their smoke plus ward placement. Looking for a flank onto DY, but he has backed off in time, and I think that's probably going to be the end of this.
I think that I don't want to read into this too much, Cinderin. I think if this goes really poorly for Gaimin, it's going to hurt a lot. Mainly because they picked a lot of the same stuff they picked last game. By a lot, I mean 2 things.
Yeah, they're running the IO and the Zeus again. I guess
so they're very confident in these picks, which, you know, that's, sure. But I'm just saying, if it doesn't work out again, it feels like they recognized something in that last game. Like, all right, this is why that went wrong. I'm not saying they ran it back completely. Obviously, a lot of different heroes, but yeah. We'll see how this goes. The CK is on the opposite side, though, and the panel did talk about the ridiculous amount of minus armor. 4 out of the 5 heroes have minus physical armor on the Xtreme side.
Yeah, and I think their lane matchups are quite good, too. So you've got the TA against Zeus, which should be good. The bottom lane, your CK Bane is a quite strong lane. I do think Techies and Centaur can hold their own, though, so I'm going to call that one pretty much a draw, and then Slardar plus ET, not the greatest lane, but IO Gyro don't necessarily have the best potential to stop, at the very least, the Slardar from farming. As long as Jinkyu just keeps disrupting their lane control by pulling waves and just being a nuisance in general, I think overall Xtreme should be off to a pretty good start here. I personally love the last pick TA. I think we've seen it a few games this tournament. Some games it's looked outstanding. This is the kind of game where it could happen. Gaimin, eventually when Zeus has Manta, I think it gets a lot easier to deal with Refraction, but until then, the only thing you really have is the Rocket Barrage, where Gyro needs to come in close. And a lot of the time, he won't be able to get close enough to TA. This hero, obviously, over the years, has gotten more and more range. So, do like it with all the minus armor, as you said. Roche will be easy. And
not only that,
will be the path for Gaimin to win this game.
Yeah, Roche is going to be super fast. They can go for it super early, and even if it is something that Gaimin tries to contest, you got the Elder Titan on top of that, which we've talked about so many times, being AoE control. No other hero really like it in the pit, I feel like, and
arguably the second best is TA, and they have that too.
Yeah, they have the vision in the pit, and this is a patch where it feels like Roche is more important than it's ever been, I would argue, especially if you want to go high ground. So yeah, just looking at Xtreme's lineup, have a lot of confidence in it.
I think something that for Gaimin this game compared to the last one, I would argue their lineup is less greedy. So last time around they had the CK carry and they had the offlane Axe. This time, Gyro a lot of the time will be able to join fights more effectively faster by just having levels. You go with a call down, you go with some Rocket Barrage damage and a flak, and you can contribute quite a lot to team fights. And the Centaur compared to Axe will have an easier path to contributing as well. Just level 6 for the Stampede, and of course, will likely get a Blink Dagger faster than the Axe last game, who went phase Blade Mail Blink after having a bad lane. I think Ace's lane this time will be easier to play. And speaking of the lanes in general, Quinn is doing really well against XM. I don't think this lane is supposed to go this way. But the Zeus 22-6 against 15-1. TA generally considered to be a lane winner a lot of the time when it's picked like this, but not the case. Big damage from Duracho.
Yeah, that Rocket Barrage destroyed XXS. Won't lead to the kill quite yet. Early 1K lead for Gaimin without any kills.
Were the bounty runs 2 for 2 as well?
Go ahead and check.
3 for 1 for Gaimin, so a little bit. Yeah. So that's 400 of it right there. But
400 plus the mid lane advantage right now. Equates to close to 1K. But yeah, talk to me about the CK on the Xtreme side, because talking about this hero not looking particularly good. We actually literally asked the question, how is this hero played without the likes of IO? We're going to see that here.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised to see it here as well, because I don't consider this a just clear solution to Gyro plus IO. It's one of the better heroes, I guess, at standing up to Gyro, but at the same time, when Gyro is farmed and he gets his items and has the IO backup, think Gyro is one of the carries that can actually stand his ground, pop all his stuff, and kill the illusions. So I'm just as curious as you are to see how this is going to pan out for Ame, because I feel like there were other options, especially at the point in the time when they drafted this. And obviously, you're also exposing yourself to enabling the Zeus once again, that Gaimin have shown they are more than willing to play. Running it back-to-back here. So, questions to be answered, but for now, Gaimin already off to a much better start than the previous game.
Yeah, for sure.
All three lanes looking quite healthy.
Of course, now that they have a more traditional these days type of IO coupling with the gyro, definitely will have a lot more confidence, I'm sure. And of course, they steal the Centaur away from Xtreme. Great offlane hero, Cinderin. Not sure if you've heard of him before. Very powerful indeed. Dyrachyo is going to get bashed into a crush. Blood grenade on top, but
big damage.
Will live with the Lotus being applied. And Gyro, of course, one of those heroes that is very fearsome in the early game, which is not normal for a position 1, but the Rocket Barrage plus the Flat Cannon can be quite the annoyance, along with the homing missile, actually. Literally all his spells, in fact.
Yeah, it's one of the strongest lane carries in the game, and he's playing against 2 melee heroes, so you're definitely going to get value for your money on the Rocket Barrage. Now, XM has stabilized mid. We were talking about a moment ago how Quinn was pulling significantly ahead, but TA laning usually gets quite trivial when you reach level 5 in particular. Just the refraction, the damage just becomes overwhelming. As that is...
All right.
All right, that's Quinn's second Thunder God's Wrath in 45 minutes. The previous one was in the last game, 30 minutes in.
No, didn't he do it twice?
I don't know. It was such a quiet game.
Yeah, that was really weird.
But there we go. You're going to see the replay here.
Yep. Very cool replay. Thanks,
right.
production.
He is dead. Well, you get to see the lightning mark on the ground, so you know where Slaughter died.
Yeah, true.
That will be a nice little boost for the Zeus to stay even with TA as the result. The big win here for Gaimin at this point is among the offlaners, where Centaur is pulling ahead by 800 against Slaughter. And Slaughter not the best offlaner at playing from behind. This hero really needs to be able to stand its ground. Ideally, you want to win your lane, which you do most of the time if you're picking it against a melee core, but at the time that Gyro has come out, don't feel like that is one of Slaughter's best matchups, to say the least, so they pick it into it. And I feel like they got what they paid for this match.
You said that twice this game. It made no sense either.
Got what they paid for?
Yeah. I mean, I understand what you're saying. It's just...
Is that not a saying?
It is. It's just...
What do you mean then?
I don't know. You could do better. Try harder. It's excellent.
They...
Pressure the tier 1 mid.
They acquired what they spent their currency on.
That's right.
There you go.
There you go.
Okay, that was way better, apparently. You liked that one?
Yep. Just want to end this conversation as soon as possible.
Yeah, that's how I feel every cast.
Yeah, I get it. It's a mutual.
Shannon, you're a good friend, so I can be honest with you. I want you to know that I'm only here out of contractual obligation. All right, Ace.
Understandable. Double edge, blast off. And Ame trying to help out his comrade. Looks like he's going to do so pretty well. Nightmare going to potentially set up a kill here,
That's
but
very awkward.
Yeah,
oh,
that was very strange.
Oh no!
And now they're going to try to turn this around onto Ame, getting blocked. Trying to get some crit action to get that heal up and gets that level 6 finally. Now the Phantasm comes through, but Dyrachyo makes his way over. The patented move from him leads to the kill. And now Stampede used in full effect to get the 3rd kill in this lane. So Gaimin off to a very good start.
That was a nightmare, literally, in every meaning of the word. The nightmare just... That could not have gone any worse with how they used that spell.
Yeah, that
the way
was
it
awkward.
bounced around was super awkward, and it also delayed the fight so long that Gaimin had time to bring their gyro through the portal in with plenty of time to spare. They will get the tower. Now, the consolation prize for Xtreme is they will take the mid one, which is usually what TA will do a lot of the time against a hero like Zeus. Just can't really stop her from putting that pressure, but very comfortable position for Gaimin in this one currently. Ace will know they're making advances here with the D wards, so he'll back off in time. Or will he? Yeah, I don't think they... not really likely to turn into anything here. Safety bubbles galore for the boys in the bottom lane. Side of Gaimin.
Radiant's middle tower is under
We'll
attack.
see how much this sets back Ame. Doesn't have the tier 1 in that bot lane anymore. Phantasm, Tofu. Okay, Nightmare again. A little awkward. Ame not looking to go any further.
Oh boy.
And DY. Oh, they actually have a relocate. Ame is who they really want. Quinn even makes it over here as well, but they're just not going to catch
That
CK.
is
It's going to have to be DY instead.
That's a really good play call from Xtreme to get out of there, actually. After they cast the Nightmare, they just realized this is not going to end well. And they get back. XM close to finding Quinn here, but can't really pursue up the stairwell.
Yeah, Quinn does get the damage rune. As Dota2 and Celery make their way back to top with the relocate.
How are Xtreme going to solve this problem? Slardar and CK both getting crushed in lane is a very bad cocktail. These two heroes do not recover particularly well, not fast at farming. I feel like XM has to get some work done here. And he will start looking toward top, but Gaimin with a good read, they'll back off, and well, this is really going to lead to anything. Well, a courier kill maybe. Nope, Jinq just turned around at the wrong time. If he was playing Monkey King, he would have definitely got that one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, I miss those days.
Yeah. I remember it like it was 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Right, stacking up for XM.
Middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, this is one way back into the game, for
He
sure.
has to be a hero.
Problem is if, well, it looks like he's going for it now, but if Gaimin caught wind of this, they could definitely contest with the gyrocopter.
Yeah.
Radiant structures
But they do not have relocate up quite yet.
DY is level 4. This is minute 11:30.
Yeah.
The support's not looking healthy either on the side of Xtreme. Nothing really going their way. Maybe this will.
Nightmare into the Echo Stomp. DY already at half HP via Quinn, and Blastoff comes in as well. DY they're going to completely ignore because he dies to a mine. And it looks like Jinq is next, so already 2 dead for the likes of Xtreme Gaming. Tier 1 tower, still pretty healthy as the Reality Rift from Ame coming in. Dota2 gets destroyed though. And away Gaimin goes.
Oh, this is a good trap.
Yeah, trap hits all 3. Quinn is going to get hit by another one, it looks like. And the Reality Rift back in. Ame with all that minus armor with the meld in addition gets destroyed. So 2 cores go down for Gaimin as they try and retreat.
A little bit of a start of a comeback here. Plenty more ground to cover for Xtreme, but that is a big help. Ame getting involved. It's a nice play call to turn this one around as well. This is a 3v5, but they come to the realization that Dota2 is just a little bit exposed here, and that shot
Yeah, that was good.
right before the relocate came out. Super clean from XM. Do get a little bit out of that. Gaimin's still comfortable, but Ame getting a little bit involved in getting this kill goal is going to be a big help for him. He's still 6th on net worth despite that. Neck and neck with his own Slardar. Both pretending to be cores together.
Okay, here's another question. So you're down 3K.
Yep.
You have a lineup that destroys Roche. Like you'd be hard to even concoct a. I use concoct as well.
Yep.
You incepted that into my brain for some reason. It's hard to make a better lineup against Roche. How early do you think Xtreme should try to go for it?
I think nighttime is the time to do it.
Oh my god!
Yeah, later.
So much damage. Blastoff comes in on the 3. Huge taser as well. DYXXS, Ame all dead. XM follows suit. Gaimin Gladiators.
What a sick blast off. Holy moly.
Jinq, the only member alive for Xtreme. Yeah, that was filth.
Oh, I could use a replay on that one.
That's 6K lead now for Gaimin. Might be looking at 2 stomps in a row, 1 for each side.
I think you're onto something, though, with the already starting to think about Roche now, to be fair. I think Xtreme probably would be wise to wait until minute 15 and already start planning around getting that Roche so they have some sort of advantage leading into a team fight. Because I think There you get the tail end of it. I think that was a 4-man blast off into relocate call down. Just sick. Beautiful.
Yeah, that was nice.
So they're gonna need the Roshan advantage to have a shot in the team fight with this gold lead that Gaimin are rocking right now. So I think sending the supports top, maybe trying to find a kill there and getting the top tower opened up and then getting vision out would be a good avenue for that. But definitely would be recommend worthy. Waiting for that Rosh for your next play, Ace. We'll be looking for Ame.
Yeah, it doesn't have the blink yet. Dyrachyo just picked up his Ags, by the way. Has the Chrysalis before that. So.
And Io has mech. This Io Gyro is mega strong. Right?
Yeah. Ame not getting scared off by Ace. Ace standing his ground because he's also a horse. Well, half horse. Half
Who would win?
Scandinavian.
3 horses or half a horse?
Well, you have to hold your horses as Dyrachyo gets off a call down. Not really going to do much. Let's force back Ame.
Anybody want to hit a spell? Doesn't look like it. All right, Quinn hits 2.
Yep, Arc Lightning.
3.
Hard to miss. Ame's going to have to use a salve here as the trap is actually being used. Already has the shard, it looks like, as the grip comes in, but Dyrachyo and company destroy DY. Now with the numbers advantage, Gaimin just going to continue running right through them.
They are not on the same page. Bane just got left out to dry there. The TA went in for a melt strike, instantly blinked out, and then Bane is just stuck.
Yeah.
Casting Fiend Script there is just not a thing, obviously, but
That's
again
3 or 4 times now.
Yeah, the question is once again, should you be looking for this? Like Xtreme are choosing these fights. They're showing up to this. They know Gaimin are there. They have the option of playing top half instead and thinking about the Rosh, but they're very adamant about taking the fights head on, and I just don't really think they're in a position to do so. So much of their net worth is on the TA, but she's not strong enough to just commit into the enemy team.
Yeah, and even the itemization, XM, we talked about the shard being picked up. I know that's a very normal purchase, but it feels like if you're playing on the defensive and you just want to farm, maybe going for a faster, well, anything else. I assume BKB is something that she would want to pick up. Ame on the run. Sticky bomb into the blast off. Tofu's been everywhere. And that is going to be the death of Ame again. Call down. XM has to blink out. XXS will follow suit. And Dyrachyo and Cell, you can see how confident they are. Will relocate away on the return. And this will provide an opportunity for Xtreme to try to get something out of this. And that something might be the Centaur. And that minus armor will provide a lot to be able to go right through that hefty boy. So 1 for 1, but now Tofu on the run. And again. They get the kill this time, though, so it matters not, but...
I think they should go straight Rosh here.
Yeah, this could be the Rosh setup. There is a tier 1 still there, by the way.
Yeah.
A little awkward.
All right, maybe they'll just settle for that, but I would have liked to see the Rosh. There's no Thunder God's Wrath, there's no relocate. Techies is dead for 20. You kill this Rosh really fast, but I'll just take the tower for now. And if they were to go for Rosh now, it's too late because Gaimin can TP up on that outpost potentially, and Xinkyu is showing in the top wave. Xinkyu's level 10. This actually could turn into a pretty big deal that ET is this big in terms of the experience. High levels in Stomp. If you look at the Xtreme lineup, they're very, very good at killing a single hero, right? They have incredible single target burst among all 3 cores. So if they could find some sort of a setup where they just take other heroes out of the fight with sleeps,
grip,
and can make some very quick kills.
It's a freebie.
Half of Gaimin's lead is gone.
Yeah, this was about a 7k lead, I think. And all of a sudden, not so much. And now they ping out Rosh. So I think Xtreme making their way over there.
Yep.
As the BKB online for Dyrachyo.
Yeah, Dyrachyo definitely has the gold, but the levels, obviously, when you're playing this Io Gyro, sharing a lot of it with Io, just cracked level 12 on Gyro in comparison to the... Oh, I guess it's only 12.5 on CK as well, so they're kind of close, as a matter of fact. But TA, the big winner, approaching level 15. Getting that probably a nice level 15 talent for Sideblade's attack range. Be very good for him.
Yep, and Deso completed, so how much more minus armor can you go for, Cinderin? There's the AC you could eventually get, right?
Yeah, I think they will too.
You don't think that's overkill?
I mean, the plus armor is also quite good against Gyro, right? If you're buying it on someone like Slardar, but obviously his game is not particularly good, but late enough, they will have that item too. Pretty sure.
All right, let's see how this lead changes with this Aegis. 5K for Gaimin. Tier 2 defense being mounted. Dyrachyo gonna take a corrosive haze. Tier 2's dead.
Gonna be tough for Gaimin to go for anything more than this without the Aegis, though. And
yeah,
they will have to wait at least probably around a good 10 minutes for that, likely.
Stampede. Okay, DY with the Nightmare TP.
Yeah, nice play.
And he's fine.
Well done. If that Relo is immediately next to the Centaur, I think maybe they can do that with a sleep break into Hoof Stomp, but very understandable. You relocate a bit off to the left.
And he's dead.
Yeah. Dare I say, Xtreme have kind of recovered this game. You're still behind. I think the win expectancy should still be a decent amount in Gaimin's favor, but like
there's a window open now.
Look at the experience. Actually,
yeah,
Radiant favored here. Oh, that's a fast Tormentor. Shardens in queue, not the best, but got to get started on it.
Well,
so you can get the better ones.
Yeah, you get the minus armor, right?
Yeah, I suppose if he feels confident committing in, but I think the problem is, do you really want to go in melee as ET in this game?
No.
But I mean, if it's the right timing, having the option is obviously nice.
I mean, he is queuing up Ags, so if you get the Ags, then you're fine going in, right?
Then we're talking.
But he is obviously a ways away, about 3K.
It's in queue though, so he's cooking. He'll get it.
He'll get it. Yeah, I believe. And we see the Daedalus for Dyrachyo almost completed. And if you're Xtreme with this Aegis, what's the, other than the fact that you're stealing it away from the team that was dumpstering you at a certain point of this game, do you want to accomplish anything?
I think
like outer towers?
Early.
I don't think that's possible, right? When you're
just
at the deficit.
Comfortably farming seems quite fine for now. I'm not particularly concerned about them going late. I think minus armor lineups actually scale very well into the late game, even if they're heavy single target focused. Just the element of surprise is always going to be strong, which we're going to see here.
Quinn.
Oh, good Stampede, though.
Yep. Stampede with the help of Celery as well, and now Xtreme a little bit on the retreat, but Dyrachyo, he doesn't have the link up with the IO anymore. Pops the BKB. Going to be able to get Jin Q and XXS, though, easily, as all 5 members Gaimin are surrounding the TA, who blinks out after the fact.
No way.
And actually TPs. Wow.
Wow, I can't believe he got out of that. All right, that looked like it was going to be a good jump on Quinn, but Shield Rune plus Manta plus Stampede gets him out of trouble. Gaimin gonna push back the other way. There will be no glyph until the tower is down, so this should be a tower. And yeah, Xtreme thought they could get the Zeus on his lonesome, but they were 5 heroes there really quickly, and they just got outnumbered. Bane wasn't there to help out either. I don't think this is gonna end up in Rex, is it?
Well,
yeah, Xtreme. This is a bit spicy for Gaimin. The heroes are alive, ET coming in.
Yeah, ET, Echo Stomp, you got to worry about with that Astral Spirit. Looks like it will be a melee Rax, though.
Right, they got
XXS thinking about, that Echo Stomp hits several heroes with the Fiend's Grip now onto the Gyrocopter. Look at the Melt Strike, and Gyro gets deleted. Minus armor for the Ages as Tofu attempting to run away. He's going to get nightmared, but really the big kill is now going to be on the Zeus. So 2 cores dead, the cost of a melee Rax, and they'll take the techies as well. That is the power of the amount of minus armor that they have.
When they do get to hit, they hit hard. Yeah, that's I don't know. That's what I was thinking. I was like, Gaimin, are they overstaying, trying to go for this melee? You know, you see the respawn timers coming in. You imagine the type of fight Xtreme can take. And keep in mind what cooldowns you have yourself, right? No Zeus ult, no BKB on Gyro, no Stampede. You can't disengage here. And DY just gets a completely free grip onto Dota2, and this fight is just... it's just doomed immediately. Don't think that was worth it. Getting the base tower and backing off would have been quite the nice prize. Instead, you end up bleeding out big, and this is basically an even game again in terms of gold.
And how much would you say the melee Rex matters right now?
Not really that much. Like, I know it's only 24 minutes in, but the side of Xtreme have really good wave clear. TA can always take care of it by just placing multiple traps there. You've got the ET who's going to just, whenever it's necessary, just throw out some spells. CK can send illusions there once in a while. Maybe it's not. Actually, looking at it, their support, one of the supports being Bane actually does play quite a big role in this, because that is a terrible wave clear hero. So, you know.
I mean, you are getting less gold in one of the 3 lanes very early in the game, right?
It's decent, but if you ask me, I think Gaimin would have rather got the tower and backed, because I think this Rex could have been claimed later on at no cost, potentially. So, with like an Aegis or whatever. Opening the doors.
There's no Lycan in the game, Syndrin.
All right, Lacoste, thank you.
Thank you. All right, I think Roche number 2 is going to be very interesting. We're still a couple minutes away before...
Was that actually a pun?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, good. I'm not even sure what you were referring to anymore.
You said like an Aegis, and I said there's no Lycan in the game. God, why do I have to explain this shit to you?
Wow.
Jesus.
That was a good joke.
Thank you.
Yep.
Now a moment of silence for the joke that I had to explain. Defeats the purpose.
I love it. I feed on the cringe.
Ame almost with the blink dagger now. And yeah, I think this is going to be a major fight for Roche number 2.
Should be. It will be nighttime, so vision, as usual, is paramount, but at nighttime you're going to be a little bit more starved on it. Or starved for it. Both teams have good tools. There's Techies, Mines, and Zeus versus TA, Traps, and ET Spirit. So both teams have very good ways of getting low commitment information. Of course, this ward is also great for the side of Gaimin. I have a decent Radiant ward in the top half as well to help out. Currently seeing the Zeus. The XM is just going to call their bluff and just push bottom. Forcing rotation, DY sitting in the Shadow Amulet.
Oh yeah, the classic.
Doing the best Seb impression. With the lens,
Seb has definitely been the best Bane of the tournament so far.
Yeah, that's fair to say. XXS fishing. Not going to find anyone.
And Dota2
might find
go
trouble
high
now,
ground. Though. Ace goes in with the hoof stomp.
BKB ready.
And yeah, he does get the BKB up with the crush to follow. Gonna take some damage with the homing missile, but he does get away. Good attempt from Gaimin. I mean, forcing out that BKB is still pretty important.
Does look like it's going to cost them a tower, though. Actually, just not stopping XM. We'll take the 1-for-1 trade, probably. I think XM and the side of Xtreme are interested in fighting right now. Low mana on their TA, no BKB on the Slardar. So they will concede the trade. And as it stands, Gaimin have a better map positioning to get this Roche. So we have talked about how important this one's going to be. 1 minute 15 away. The teams obviously do not know this. But if Gaimin keep pushing this lane out, and also mid, as we talked about auto pushing, they will have a good grip on the Roche pit for the next 2 minutes 20 before he heads bottom. Now, Gaimin aren't the fastest at killing it, though.
Yeah, so they have a pretty garbage lineup.
They kind of want to fight for it, but if they need to start killing Roche themselves, it will take a decent amount of time and be pretty telegraphed.
Yeah.
So Xtreme should be expected to find a smoke play for that. And of course, if they even get in remote proximity of the pit, they can just scout it with ET and get confirmation about whether it's happening or not.
Yep. Speaking of ET, 1,300 gold away, Syndrin, from Ags. Okay, very important.
You're saying that semi-sarcastically?
No.
This is potentially a game winner.
How is that sarcastic?
It was the tone in which you said it. You say that when it's not important.
I say it no matter what. Whatever. I wasn't memeing for once. The Ags is very good. Especially this game where you're getting so much value. Bang for the buck, as you like to say.
Yeah.
Money well spent.
Yes.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Meanwhile,
Output
DY
for coin.
DY is looking for his Ags. Only 4,000 gold away. Is
Locate into the...
Yep, into silent.
And very nice. XM was thinking about... I actually wonder if they had a read that this was coming. They didn't stick around on the wisdom. Ooh. I think back top.
That be a tribute.
All right, Roche up in 30 seconds. As Xtreme doing a good job of pushing out this bot lane. They do have to worry a bit about mid. Creeps are in their base, technically speaking. Range tracks not really...
All right, they just don't care.
No, but
Just letting it go.
Do you care about range racks?
Yeah, I mean, it adds up. Right? Ame in the middle of nowhere.
That's pretty big. He's not going to have BKB. Oh, speaking of big, XM is taking a tier 3 bottom by himself.
Dire's structures.
He's going to use the fortification. It's literally one hit away now.
It almost feels like Ame was baiting that by running into the enemy team a little bit there and forcing his own BKB out just to keep them in place and letting XM do this. This is not particularly common in, I was going to say modern Dota, but we don't see these plays very often.
Is this happening? Is this
Getting
a
the
range rack?
racks. Okay.
TP's coming. Roche will be completed by Gaimin. Nightmare to try to save XM. Trying to get to the high ground. Relocate's coming, though. He's going to use the BKB and TP. DY doesn't have a BKB because he's a pathetic position 5. So they get a range racks.
Good for Gaimin overall.
Gaimin, yeah, they get the Aegis, they get the range racks mid eventually with the creeps and the cheese.
Considering how important this Aegis is for the potential outcome of the next fight, I think that's worth sacrificing a range racks for. The question is if they could have done it without losing racks. I think there might have been a world where if they play this a little bit smarter with the IO, perhaps this was possible. Like, let's say Gyro goes Roche with other heroes and then IO +1 defense base, and then they can reload to the pit if the fight breaks out there. Maybe that was an option, but still the end result is at least passable for Gaimin.
Yeah, it's just the range racks, as we know, that doesn't do that much. If it upgraded catapults to be trebuchets or something, then that's something, right? Yep. Maybe next patch. Dyrachyo looking to go high ground.
Very
Ace.
confident placement here.
Yeah, using the Shivas for a little bit of vision. Echo Stomp onto 2. XM going in. Gets a Melt Strike onto the Centaur. As the ET, okay, that's the Aegis, I guess.
Yeah,
that's pretty
not
fast.
How they could have used it, in my opinion.
Now Dyrachyo getting crushed, uses the BKB. I believe they used cheese to get him back to high HP. Actually, maybe the Satanic. Either way, he lives. Yeah, I don't see the cheese anymore, so I believe that is what was used by Celery. So already, all the goodies you got from Roche are gone.
That was... I don't know. I was surprised to see them play that aggressively, considering the matchup they're up against. Just full-on placing the gyro next to the tower. Yeah, now suddenly the trade they took doesn't really feel that much worth it anymore. Like, they end up using their Aegis and cheese for a half a tier 3 and a glyph. Dyrachyo, I don't think he's interested in fighting again until he gets his butter, but TA already has MKB.
Really interesting stat. Thank you, production.
All right. It's one dead homing missile.
Very interesting, yeah.
Or as we like to call it, the little rocket that couldn't. Let's give the TA-50. Oh, there it is.
There it is. All right. So, Jin Q will now get magic immunity based on how many units he hits once the Astral Spirit comes back to him. And, of course, the Shard allows him to teleport to the Astral Spirit. So, yeah, he can not only pack a punch, but the minus armor that comes out is no joke.
So he will set their armor to 0, the base armor to 0, which is primarily relevant against Gyro. He will cut through 18 of his. And then all the minus armor will come on top of that.
Yeah. Oh, XM.
We're talking about 10. Oh,
wait, it's Jin Q. He's going to use his ult prematurely. You can see the magic immune come through, but it's just too much physical.
Very good find there for Gaimin. gives them a little bit of space to push out the waves.
That's 40 seconds of no ET. Not looking to poke the mid lane, it seems.
I don't think they have any creeps.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true.
And there's also nothing to poke.
Well, you can poke through to another lane. They have all the outer towers now.
DY with a 500 IQ preparation play for when Gaimin have to go back to base and then push out bottom.
He'll be there a while.
Yeah.
How long does Shadow Amulet last for these days?
Oh, that's a good question. I actually forgot that.
15 seconds. Yeah. Thanks, AFKers.
Yeah, a fun change that only came about because of game ruiners. Otherwise, this would last indefinitely.
Yeah.
Now you actually have to be at your computer every 15 seconds.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. Truly unlucky.
That's the leading cause of diabetes in America now, is the Shadow Amulet changes, I think.
The thing about that change that was so good, though, is that it stopped people griefing.
Yeah.
It really changed things. All right, Daracho will actually walk into the ward, but heroes are not here for Xtreme right now. This could have got really interesting if they had committed to this, but like, what are the odds that you place 4 or 5 heroes here right now? Not too great.
All right, the Assault Cuirass is... Wait, who is building that?
Underway for Slardar. It's far away.
Slardar, okay. Yeah, it looks like it'll be the Butterfly for Daracho. Or is it? No, he was the one building AC.
Oh, he switched.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, actually, okay.
Yeah, so AC for Gyro.
Yeah, so he's getting plus armor.
Yeah, that's, of course, the counter to Natural Order.
I don't know what's better EHP here, actually, because, sure, the Butterfly is countered by the TA, but the other 2 cores in the enemy team do not have True Strike. So, I definitely get where he's coming from. I think it's kind of close. But the thing about this is it won't fall off if CK also gets True Strike. Something like that. Bloodthorn is on the way. Actually, it's completed now. So, yeah, maybe. Maybe the AC is the better choice.
XXS scouted out.
BKB.
Uses the BKB in his retreat, but that's a lot of damage to go through. No. Gets to the other side as Jin Q right on top of him, uses his ult as well, and dies. Very exciting from Elder Titan. Don't think that actually mattered at all in terms of saving the Slardar. No. But that looked like a really good initiation for Jin Q, but 0 follow-up from the rest of his team.
Did he have his Echo Stump toggled by mistake is my question. Maybe he didn't actually mean to go in there.
It's possible, yeah.
I think opting to engage a fight when your Slardar is completely gone is brave. It feels a little bit too crazy. You don't have any vision there.
Well, he's probably just warming up his fingers, you know, getting that muscle memory. You don't get Ags on Elder Titan that often, surely.
Warming up his fingers so he can turn the faucet later.
Wash that face, son.
Yeah. He'll be back alive in 5. So yeah, like you said, relatively inconsequential here. Quinn will get slept, but nah. They're not going to go on this wisely.
And DY with still that very long-term dream of getting the Aghanim Scepter. Ace, oh, instant Fiend's Grip. Really fast fingers from DY. And now Ace gets off the Shivas, but dies shortly after.
Took them quite long. That actually was a slower kill than I was anticipating.
Now, without TA there, it'll be a bit slower for sure.
Yeah.
And now setting up for an eventual Roche number 3.
Early spawn in 40. This game is really hanging in the balance. It was looking like Gaimin might have just be running away with it 20 minutes ago, but at this point, I feel like this one is a 50-50.
Yeah, it's certainly close.
Who gets the jump? For Gaimin, it's all about protecting the gyro and making sure he gets value out of his flat cannon. Like, you need that big AoE damage to come through and force heroes out of the fight. If gyro gets killed early on or pushed out, the fight is probably going to be really, really difficult. And this is where those levels also come into play, right? Like, gyro level 19, he's not closing in on the big talent. TA is 23 almost. Chaos Knight almost 21. The 20 talent for gyro is huge. So Daracho will love to get those 3 extra flat cannon attacks.
Well, a minute from Roche, so somewhere in the middle in terms of
Yeah, will be a nighttime one.
the span here.
Okay, Xtreme. A little bit of a... Oh boy, Duracho might not be ready for this at all.
Yeah, but Celery is linked up.
Okay, that's a good D-ward. That was very important. That will dissuade them from pursuing this play.
And XM hasn't really gotten to use his traps in terms of like the Roche vision area because Gaimin have just been all over him with the sentries. So they're not going to have the usual info that you would have in these situations where TA can at least know where Roche stands. I mean, just knowing when it's up is honestly more important than knowing when they're taking it, because that is a little bit more obvious, I feel like. Good job, DY.
Well, earning all the fantasy points.
Dire's bottom barracks
All right, Roche is up now.
are scared.
Big neutral item for TA here. Getting the Mindbreaker could become a difference maker if he hits the right targets to start the fight. Silence. There's the roar. I think Xtreme are just not interested. Like they don't feel like they're in a position on the map to do this. They're going to try to trade it for bottom racks, but unlikely to be successful as Glyph is available for Gaimin.
And this is going to be Aghanim Scepter.
That's a really nice pick-me-up for them. And they're going to put it on...
We'll see. Quinn and Duracho already have Ags.
Yep.
I doubt they want to see the Centaur card, although with Zeus, it's not... I mean, even Gyro, it's actually not that bad.
He's running it on the Centaur for now, but hasn't
He's thinking about it. Yeah, he's like,
go.
surely this is not the best Ags, but we will take it. Because the other ones are Io and Techies.
You can grab people that are Fiend Script, right?
Yes.
So they can use it as like a pseudo save.
It doesn't cancel the Fiend Script, I don't think, but...
No, but it makes the target untargetable.
Yeah, you
So-
can't really do much after the fact.
Yeah.
You can run them away.
Could become an interesting play.
Yeah.
Thunder goes Wrath for scouting. Nothing happening though.
Yeah, good old Warhorse for Ace.
Workhorse.
Is it Workhorse?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I thought it was Warhorse.
Because why would it be Warhorse? It's a cart. That's
Why does he have a cart?
Well, workhorses pull a cart. Warhorses pull a chariot.
I don't like that anymore.
Okay.
I thought it said Warhorse. I'll probably call it that by accident in a fight anyway, so it's no big deal.
Don't you worry, it's never getting used.
I don't know. The changes they made, it's not quite enough yet, but it's close, Synderen. Like just being able to use it as a mini stampede.
It's just whenever we see this picked up and you get so excited about it, it does nothing and the game ends. But
I know.
maybe this is the one. We're always hoping.
This is a close game, though.
It is.
The only reason he has it is because nobody else's axe would have been used for it. Right. Duracho, high ground attempt. XXS with the crush. Lotus Orb applied to Duracho, though. And it's going to be an easy tier 3 taken out as double siege wagon. Should secure it. Although TA has something to say about that. And the tower does technically survive, but only a matter of time. Duracho with the Aegis. Cheese on the Centaur right now. Surprisingly not on the Io. So they get the tier 3. Call down used. Now resetting.
It's going to get a little bit harder now, I think, despite having taken the tower. TA has time now to set up traps. And Xtreme will probably get in a little bit of a better position now. She's still trying to get in, though. He will. All right.
Yep, range rack will be a freebie, and melee, okay, they're just going to give it up. No, fortifications there, Ame. Oh, BK, okay, that was Jin Q. I thought he popped a BKB, but that is his Ags that we talked about ad nauseum. Nice to get a good Echo Stomp here. Gonna try to apply some damage to Duracho. Backdoor protection kicks in, but they find the barracks anyway. This has been enough time for DY to get his Aghanim Scepter, surprisingly enough. They're going to try to put everything onto the Gyrocopter. That is the Aegis down. BKB's pop galore. DY showing off his Ags. As Quinn will use the Refresher Orb.
Holy shit.
Able to get
that
out of
damage.
dodge as Dyrachyo now on the run. Thunder God's Wrath cancels some Blink Daggers. As Xtreme looking for more. Reality Rift onto the IO. They need to get more than this, surely. The Nightmare on top of Celery. He gets brought down.
Odd reach.
Jin Q
look
goes
him up right
in
away.
with the Aghanim Scepter.
It doesn't matter.
Dyrachyo is dead. Tofu tries to save him with the blast off, but now puts himself in a precarious spot. Ame and company should be able to take him out quite easily. That's going to be the 4th death for Gaimin in this high ground attempt. Well, I say attempt. They did get the set of racks. So now 2 lanes in favor of Gaimin. Comes at some pretty heavy cost.
These are
Radiant's
big
middle
kills.
tower is under attack.
And it feels like the game is just going to come down to the same thing again, right? Well, Gaimin get the next Roche as well, because then they can megas with that probably, right?
Well, they're going to have to do...
Gyro buying back first. That's a very big win for the side of Xtreme. I don't think that was necessary. Could have probably poked away at it a little bit with a Zeus plus maybe some Techies mines and maybe a Centaur buyback, but they'll buy back the big one first. Now this opens a clear path for Xtreme to win the game even. 1 kill on the Gyro would probably do it. They can push base real fast.
Yeah.
So, oh boy. Spicy situation now for the side of Gaimin with that Gyro buyback.
Cheese still on Centaur, by the way.
Yeah, he died so quick, by the way, in that fight. He got gripped and died within 2 seconds, just got obliterated. And of course, Gaimin are largely relying on Lotus Orbs, but I think it's time to start considering Slardar's progression in the game. He's almost level 20. He's 23.5. Level 25 on Slardar is a game changer here.
Yeah.
Undispellable Corrosive Haze is going to absolutely change the dynamic of the game, where you can suddenly just put this on the Gyro and just go. And 3-shot him, almost, with your TA plus CK.
Yeah.
And he will struggle to itemize against it, too. Like, I'm not sure what Dyrachyo is supposed to do, really, to solve that problem. So, he will be eyeing up the butter. I guess it is his best option. Still doesn't feel all that great, but what else are you supposed to buy?
Well, get triple halberd.
Yeah. Quinn has expanded his arsenal significantly as well. Axe Refresher, now the Kaya as well, so big spell amp. Tons of damage coming out from him, but always worth remembering the TA25 talent. 13 instances of refraction. It will take a while before Quinn actually even gets through this. Even with a right-click Zeus build with the Manta Shard as he has here, this takes some time, and if the fight starts with an already running refraction and a recast, you're looking at like 20 to 25 damage instances you need to get through before even doing real damage to her. So XM really in a prime position here.
Ooh, damage rune. And it's
Gyro's
spotted.
level 20. It's,
Really?
yeah, that's
Wow.
It's quite. I mean, the,
Wow.
the experience lead for the Radiant must be ridiculous. Actually, looking at the player levels,
That is insane.
they're up 13 levels from these kills. So sure, you're down in the lane of racks, but I feel like Xtreme are pretty much well ahead in this game. If there's no Aegis going the side of Gaimin and the Gyro having no buyback, this is definitely not going to be easy times. 5 minutes, as pointed out here on Dyrachyo's buyback, and that will be way longer than the Roshan max respawn even. 30 seconds away from that one, and for the first time in this game, it feels like Xtreme are actually preparing the pit.
Yeah.
Playing Minesweeper with their TA. They know that Gaimin are unlikely to come and contest this right now because of the Gyro liking buyback and because of the way they've managed to set up the map, so it's looking very promising for Xtreme.
Yeah, in some ways it feels like they're in the driver's seat now.
They
despite being
well,
down
definitely
1
are.
racks
think
compared
so.
to the 2 here.
Okay.
There's not even an icon for Nimbus.
I love that. I love that there's just a broken image file logo for that one.
Please
That's
don't
good.
fix that. Very important that that stays. It's kind of like that red arrow that you see in Dota from time to time when you move your camera. They've never changed. It's like something that was made in 1995.
Yep.
All right, smoke up from Gaimin. Very important fight for them, and they have to make sure Dyrachyo does not die here.
And who do you go on?
The cheese is still on Centaur, by the way, not on Io to try to save the gyro. It's very interesting.
Who did Gaimin initiate on? I feel like going on TA is going to be really hard. All right, never mind. They might not get
smoke with a crush on the two heroes. Dyrachyo has popped the BKB. Has to be very careful. The ETL not going to do too much here. As Ame now on the run, trying to reset, but XM gets forced out to the high ground. Jin Q gets deleted. So a lot of damage being applied by Gaimin Gladiators. Now Xtreme on the run. XM able to blink out in time. Nice nightmare from DY. Buyback from Jin Q. Question is, can Gaimin find anyone? Definitely coming out on top of that fight. But now a lot of ults down.
This should be Roche for the Radiant. 30-second spawn. I think he burnt both Zeus ultis there, right?
Arcane Blink, CK. Okay. Very cool.
Well, that's going to give him some extra reach.
Yep, that's a longer cast range, and we'll have to hold the horses here. Dyrachyo showing himself. Tofu in the tree line. We'll get a ward off. Sticky Bomb does hit DY.
Great
Nightmare dodges everything and gets his ult off as well. CK, oh, looks like the Centaur is going to go down the last right click of XM.
DY, God, holy shit, that was good.
Call down, not enough to kill DY.
Wow.
As the Daedalus now picked up for the TA, XM is fully stacked. Well, not literally. The Desto is actually not fully stacked.
Buyback on Ace, though, so this is still a 5-on-5 and no grip now, so a big cooldown also not available now for the side of X.
Yeah, there's the
G for a
buyback.
bit.
Stampede available. It's going to TP to the outpost.
Only 20 seconds on grip, though. Keep in mind, it's the Axe version. Way lower cooldown.
Yep, Roche is up. Daytime in 15 seconds, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, this is going to get real awkward.
Yeah, who can get to the bot lane the fastest? Are they just going to
Tofu?
fight here? Tofu getting really low. Centaur card on him, very important. Nobody's even going on at that point. And Gyrocopter deleted! Dyrachyo is dead, out of position. And now Xtreme with a huge advantage, 5 versus 4. And it looks like Gaimin going to try to retreat, but they lose the Centaur. That's a dieback onto Ace. Everything falling apart for Gaimin Gladiators. As Celery dead. Triple kill for XM. He has his buyback on Io, but that's best case scenario, 3 versus 5. As now a Divine Rapier for Xtreme.
Yeah, they're not going to wait around for this Roche. Not worth it. Straight into the high ground. They're going to try to go through backdoor protection with all this minus armor and damage that they have. Should be no problem. Imagine if Slardar was here with an AC as well. Okay, Quinn?
Yeah, he's dead. My God. That's just it.
It's just over.
That is it. This minus armor strat has really come through for Xtreme. They were down big time, but they're going to take this 2-0. They go for the throne, only 2 alive for Gaimin, and it's just the supports. GGs are called. Xtreme, very impressive game.
Yeah, this is what's so scary about these late game scenarios when you get against all this minus armor. I was talking about it earlier, the element of surprise.